Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're
What's that?
making the 2023 manual labor tier list for the best forms of manual labor all over. We got my boy here. He's gonna help me rank these. We're both manual labor connoisseurs. We've both been around the block a few times, and here we're gonna
Yeah,
talk about them
I've
today.
got
We're gonna talk about them today. So I think we should start with an oldie but a goodie. Um, I say we start with lawn mowing here. The
oh,
first
lawn mowing's a classic.
everyone's first manual labor endeavor when they were 16 in their basement doing some lawnmower shit. That's the wrong one. Doing some lawnmower. Um, you wanted to you wanted to get some manual labor in, but your parents were kind of being a little bit uptight about it. So you went out back. You got the lawnmower out. And you started to go. Um, I feel like this is a good one, but I just don't think it. I don't think it holds up. You know. I think
Yeah, lawn mowing for me is a solid B tier. Like, it was great at the moment, and then I realized there are other forms of labor that,
no, because
provided just more money.
you have to think about it. The manual labor has got the triangle, right? And the triangle of manual labor is you got the payment, the satisfaction, and the challenge. Lawnmower just doesn't really. It's got a nice satisfaction, but there's no payment. The payment's really almost none, and like it's not hard. It's really boring. So for that reason, I think it's a solid C tier to really base the rest of the list off of. I feel.
That's fair. That's fair.
What's another good one? Tiling. Look, man,
Oh,
I've had my run-ins with tiling. This stuff is a classic. If you haven't done any tiling work, I recommend it. All right, this is the by far an S tier. All right,
you
it's
haven't lived
satisfying.
until you've done tiling.
Oh yeah, you haven't done tiling. It's okay. I've done so much tiling. Let me tell you, this stuff hits hard, man. Like you'll wake up you one day and you're like, damn, and you start tiling, and it hits you like a truck, and you aren't ready for it. And it's satisfying. People pay so much money for it, and it's like you have to think about it. You have to get your little tiling mix together. Me and I had to do some crew stuff with this, bro. I tile a whole shower. It took 2 days. I got paid $5,000 for that, man. Tiling is where it's at. You got to get on that. If you aren't already doing tiling, you got to do it. I
Dude,
think
tiling is just such a great all around pick. It's not complicated to learn whatsoever. You slap down some paste, put down the tiles, and you're good to go. Seal that bad boy up.
I
But
think
the payout is just so good.
I think to help gauge the tier list, we're gonna have to put in an F tier, and I think I'm gonna go concrete. Concrete is just it's not a fun form of manual labor because the challenge is there, but it's so time like it's all based on time because like the second you stop moving the concrete, it hardens and you're screwed. So you got to work around the clock to make sure it's good, but it's not hard. You just pour it into a big like plat and let it dry. It's really boring. It doesn't pay well. Usually it's a government job, so you don't get very good salaries. It's just a bad overall. My experiences with concrete are limited, but from what I have experienced, it's not a good time. So concrete's a solid F tier.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. Concrete is just it's so tedious and it's kind of just like my least favorite form of labor ever. Like concrete, it takes so much time
Yeah.
and it's just bad.
All right. Now I think we're gonna do the. I'm gonna talk about the Philippines pick. This is where all the Filipinos are gonna love this one. Dumping waste into the ocean and
Oh,
just in general. This is a pretty fun one. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna put this in B tier. I think. You know what? I'm putting B and a half. Putting half B, half A. Because I feel like dumping concrete and not concrete. Oh man, I am out of it. Dumping waste into the ocean is just it's so nice. You get the nice splash. You get to just see it all. Like if you ever go to Southeast Asia, there's so much trash floating around down there. It's just so much fun. You just don't have to worry about that trash. I think honestly it's gonna be tier because you don't get paid for it. But like just the fun
yeah.
factor and challenge of it all, it's just you can't beat it. Anything to
You
add?
know, every time I go to the coast, like my spirits just get raised beyond belief when I see all the dead fish floating at the top due to pollution. It's truly my favorite, you know, pastime activity to do.
Yeah.
And you can do it with friends or family. So,
No, I agree. I think this is a easy B tier. Let's see what's next here. What do I have selected? Oh, destruction. Okay. Honestly, destruction, it's a C tier. It's not as fun as you think because it's all about like you get to smash things, but then you just gotta lift it and take it to the dump, and you just kind of you don't get paid, and especially like when you're doing. Actually, no, I'm moving this down. No, it can stay in C tier because the thing about destruction is that like you'll hit it, and then like you gotta like be really technical. It's not about just smashing things. You have to like use a little scraper and like you have to like take it apart. You don't just destroy it, and you don't get paid jack for it. No one pays for destruction because it's a meathead job, so you're not gonna be doing much. So for manual labor, like destruction's a good one to do with your friends on the weekend, but like for a daily user like myself, like I'm not gonna be doing construct. I'm not gonna be doing destruction. That's just not my. It's not gonna be my top choice.
like the main issue about destruction is the second part that comes along, and that's moving all that you have destroyed. And that's truly what kind of ruins it. Like if it was just smashing stuff and leaving the remains, that's perfect. You're not getting paid much, but it's a, pretty enjoyable activity.
Yeah.
But just the factor of cleaning up is just truly what kind of breaks it.
What am I feeling next? I think I'm gonna do going into labor next.
I know a couple of women who have experienced this actually.
Really,
Yes.
I can't
Yes.
say I've met one before, so
Oh.
that'll be a first for me. It is truly. I will say though, like this stuff is pretty cool. I don't know if you ever seen it happen before. Some crazy stuff. I think going into labor honestly is an A tier. The payment's pretty cool. You get a whole human child for that. The challenge is there. It's really, from what I've heard, it's a fairly difficult form of manual labor. The satisfaction is not really there though. So this part doesn't get into S tier. But I'd say the challenge and the payment's pretty cool. I think. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that completely. It's just I can't stand it when people just chicken out and like, oh, give me all the drugs you have. Oh, please numb the pain. Like, come on, guys.
Drugs.
Yeah, like this is, it's a grind, okay?
All right. I think digging is next. We're gonna finish up this little triplet here. Digging. Man, I'm just split on this one. This one's like it's nice, but I'm pretty sure no one's ever paid someone to dig a hole. Like I'm just like you're not mining. This is not mining. We're talking about digging, and it's just not. It's not hitting. Honestly, I'm putting digging in D tier.
I completely agree with that. Digging, it's great. Like, who doesn't love going to the beach and just digging a large hole? But like, that's that's not really manual labor. You're doing that to have fun. Like, to go off of what you said, if someone needs a hole dug, they're gonna do it themselves. I mean, you're not gonna get paid, and it's kind of just a hassle.
Let's do electricity. Move doing electrician stuff. I'm putting this
Classic.
one's difficult because you think about it. Being an electrician, it's a lot about sticking metal things into outlets, which is definitely a
Hmm.
fun time. But on the contrary, this is a very technical job, and you know what? Compared to other forms of manual labor, you have to put a lot of thought into this one. This one takes a lot. Like you gotta have a PhD. These other ones, these are just like fun labor you can just do. This one, really have to you have to think about it. You really have to know what you're doing. And I'm just not into that for manual labor. But I know it's a pretty popular one in the community. I know a lot of people are gonna be pretty mad at me if I do put it in a lower tier. So just for that reason alone, I think it's gonna get B tier. I think it pays more than everything below it. It definitely has got that good satisfaction because you can if you can if you can electricize a house. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, necessarily, perhaps you're gonna be doing some good work. You got to make sure that it's smooth, man. You got to make sure that it's lit and well lit, and that is so satisfactory. So the
No,
satisfactory is in the triangle. Satisfactory is good, but the just the challenge is just also there. So everything's kind of there. It just takes education. Education is not something that manual labor enjoyers like.
No,
So
no, we're all meatheads here.
for that reason alone, I'm gonna have to move it down a little bit. But maybe next year, if it comes back up, maybe if college education drops in price, then we'll see. Next up, we got the Mario Brothers here. It's a me, Mario. Now, plumbing. I have a vendetta against plumbing. I do not like this form of manual labor. I feel like plumbing just doesn't hit the spot like I feel like it should.
That's fair. I mean, I would put plumbing in F tier. However, after seeing the Mario movie and witnessing Princess Peach, I gotta put it in E tier.
I
Like, it's the only redeeming factor.
I disagree. Oh, I think I'm gonna put it in F
Oh,
tier. I
oh,
just feel like the only positive part of plumbing is having a nice big plumber come and clean your pipes.
man, dude, when
Big
my pipes are clogged,
buff.
I need I need a big buff man to, help me out.
Yeah, I just feel like that's the only upside of plumbing. But like other than that, plumbing just doesn't really bring a lot to the table, and it's just not very manual. And that's just not what we're about here in the manual labor. And also, it just
No,
messes you up for life, man. But you see, when you go out there in the plumbing, like you see some stuff you don't want to see, man. Like that'll mess you up for life.
no.
All right, now this one is one that my buddy here has a lot of experience in. That's woodworking.
Oh,
It's a
yes.
classic for him. So I'm gonna let him take the stage here.
Okay, so woodworking. Oh God. I mean, it's just easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite form of manual labor. There's just so much you can do. I mean, there's an aspect of creativity that comes along with it. But, woodworking, you can mark your prices up so high and just say, "Oh, it's because like I'm putting my heart and soul in." So payoff's great. You can make whatever you want. So, showing up to your friend's birthday party with a, giant wooden statue of his mother in a bikini, that's always fun. Let me tell you, the manual labor, that's fun because you got all these tools, you got chisels, you got knives, you got all this great stuff. Woodworking for me, that's gonna be an S tier. I mean, maybe A tier if you don't like using your hands too much for small detail work.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think that we could put it in A tier. I think we need to have the balance on here. I don't have a lot
Okay.
of experience with woodworking. I'm more of a stone cutter kind of guy, but I know that
Ooh,
the woodworking community is crazy, and in the manual labor community, these guys are insane, dude. I could never be a full time woodworker. I just don't have that kind of energy in me. But I know some people do, and for that reason, I'm putting it in A tier. I think it has a lot of potential. Now we got the final one. I feel like this is by far the most important one. And that is skipping work to smoke with the boys behind the construction site.
yes, classic.
Rolling up a cigarette, taking a cigarette out, and just getting a hit of nicotine, getting that buzz. I'm at, like set the scene. You're 12 years old. You're on the construction site. You're working, and because you're 12, you don't have any skills yet. So all you're doing, you're taking all the wood that they're cutting and whatnot and putting it in the truck to go dump it. You drive yourself to the dumpster, dump all that stuff, get yelled at by the dump guy because you brought too many loads that day, and your head's pulsing. You just need something to take the edge off the day. Well, all of a sudden, Mateo and like Joshua, the two 19-year-old guys who dropped out of high school, say, "Hey man, come over here," and you guys sit and you take a nice smoke break. It just takes the edge off the evening. You really just you feel so much better about what you're doing, and even though you're getting paid below minimum wage, that doesn't matter because you're able to just sit back and relax, take a nice drag, a nice hit. With the boys, with Mateo and Joshua. Who doesn't want to do that?
Some of my best memories come from when I was working mines. Like we were just bored. Like we didn't want to mine all this ore and stuff. So naturally, we roll some blunts and we hotbox in the mine, which was insane, crazy. One of the best days of my childhood.
I think there's a big split in the community whether you want to do tobacco or weed to smoke during. But for me personally, I'm more of a tobacco kind of guy. I feel like the nicotine really takes the edge off while also giving you that competitive edge you need to keep doing manual labor. I feel like for like the za really just pushes me over the edge. I feel like just tired, man, and it doesn't help me out. It takes the edge off, sure, but I can't get back out there and keep doing my labor. So I just don't think that's a really
Great.
valuable thing. So I'm saying if it's nicotine, we're putting S tier, and that's what this picture is. So we're putting S tier, and with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a completed manual labor tier list 2023. Hope you all enjoyed. Hope this is a very educational video for you. That'll wrap up the video. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to comment, make the algorithm like me more. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Make sure you all have that bell icon rung so you can be the first person to be updated on my manual labor adventures. With
Yeah,
that,
see you guys later.
I leave you. Goodbye.